You find yourself lost in Irvingland. Last time, one of the metal-munching moon mice had appeared on the planet and was coming for Dr. Smith, who happened to be watching the sky for possible rescue nearby.
Get away from me, get away. Oh, please, please, I'll do anything you want, only let me go.
He's not metal, so it didn't munch him. He runs back to the ship screaming that invaders are coming by the hordes to wipe them out and enslave them and they're aliens so they can figure out how to do both. In other words, he's hysterical and babbling. Situation normal.
Oh, it's just a little thing. It doesn't look so dangerous to me.
Whose opinion are you going to take? That of a mere child or mine?
That look says, did you really ask me that?
Thank heaven we're at least safe from the monster in here.
It's dematerializing.
What?
It's dematerializing.
Dad, look!
Good thing they're safe from it inside, like Smith said.
How did it do that? That's impossible.
Yet there it sits. You want to revise that statement?
Careful, careful, it might suddenly attack. Will!
It's deactivated.
It looks electronic, so yeah, Will is going to be interested. Or maybe he just spotted the off switch and decided to kick it. As far as attacking, I want Dr. Smith to show me which parts are the weapons. Well, now, let me see. This right here looks rather frightening, and, I wouldn't get within several feet of that. Yes, I'm quite sure this thing is deadly dangerous. We, that is, you, must do something about it.
Apparently, the central control unit is run by a selective computer, giving it a sort of free choice.
But that still doesn't explain how it moved right through the hatch.
Some kind of matter transfer.
Matter transfer?
Well, there used to be a wild theory that molecular structure could be broken down and reassembled at another point.
But we wouldn't figure out how to do it until the 23rd century, according to Gene Roddenberry.
I strongly suggest you destroy this diabolical machine at once.
Why? It's not doing us any harm.
As always, you speak with the trusting innocence of youth.
Whereas you speak with the mindless stupid of one with no morals. You expect everyone and everything to be as evil as you are.
Who knows the evil purpose of this outlandish contraption?
Now, Will's right. This is nothing more than a harmless data computer. Geologic samples.
It's doing what their environmental robot was supposed to do, analyze the air and the ground to see if this planet is suitable for habitation.
You mean we might have visitors?
Invaders would be a better word. Again, I suggest you destroy this thing immediately.
Somebody needs to remind Smith that on this planet, they are the invaders. They're not supposed to be here. They've already killed one local inhabitant, the giant, and completely altered the life cycle of another, Debbie. If that's not an invasion, the only difference is the number of invaders. But they're Americans. We own any piece of land that we think we touched first.
Mark my words. If you don't destroy this monstrous thing at once, ruin and disaster will follow. We will all suffer a horrible fate. That is my final word on the subject.
We should be so lucky. Not surprisingly, as soon as they all leave the room, it activates and starts poking around again. Meanwhile, the Robinsons and Dr. Smith are having cake.
Would you make my portion a generous one? I feel that I shall need all my strength for the days to come.
Well, I'll try to remember that, Dr. Smith.
Thank you.
Or not. The probe needs to determine if the new visitors are allergic to chocolate. The next day, while the professor and Don are out looking for possible sites that the visitors might have landed, Will is prospecting for rocks as usual. If he says something about his name being Klaatu, I'm out of here. No, he doesn't say anything. His people must communicate some other way.
Hello there. I'm William Robinson from the planet Earth.
Why is that a commercial cliffhanger? The man hasn't made any threatening moves. He's just standing there. His expression is benign. He's just looking around and getting an idea what the place looks like. Not really a huge tension builder. When we come back, Will is off to tell his dad.
Will! What are you doing here?
I saw this beam of light.
And you thought you'd go over and investigate?
I'm sorry, Dad.
It happened about 12.5 feet from him, so he didn't have much choice. But you won't give him a chance to tell you that, will you? If you ever let him finish the sentence, you might learn a few things. Let's just go see what he found.
He's gone.
What do you make of that?
Some sort of matter transfer device. That would account for the beam of light. This must be a regenerator that reassembles the molecular structure.
But what happened to the man?
I don't know, Will.
When he wants to contact us, he will.
He probably went back to his ship to get more gear now that he's got his transporter set up down here. He's done nothing hostile or threatening, so when Smith starts his inevitable doom and gloom talk, shove a piece of cake in his mouth. Rats!
Depend on whether he's a friend or an enemy. Let's get back to the ship.
Or maybe, as usual, the answer is simpler than we think it is. Dr. Smith programmed the robot to analyze information from the probe, and they learn that their visitors are basically humanoid, nearly identical to humans, which makes it a lot easier for the casting department.
There's another one.
It seems that 2 more unexpected problems have dropped in on us. It's positively raining aliens.
The episode is called The Sky is Falling. Tonight, the part of Chicken Little will be played by Zachary Smith. Right now, Chicken Little has a plan.
We are going to the campsite of the alien visitors.
The question's obvious. Why?
Because they are people of a superior intellect, and so am I.
You have yet to answer the question.
One reason is that we have so much in common. They will get along well with me, and I with them. We can be of great help to each other.
They built that transporter. He thinks he's on an equal intellectual level with that? If they do manage to communicate, he's going to sound like a blabbering infant to them. Let's get a look at these horrible invading hordes.
Hello. How do you do? I'm Zachary Smith. Dr. Zachary Smith. Ah, well, I suppose handshaking is not the custom everywhere. I want to speak to you about something which is of the utmost urgency to us both, if you'll permit me.
A man and a woman setting up camp and making food. Scary. And Smith actually expects them to understand English, have some clue what doctor means, and otherwise conform to his expectations. They have no clue why he's making these absurd honking noises.
How many people do you expect to land here? How many will come? I see thousands.
Even in 1965, most people recognize the universal sign for what? Smith keeps babbling, but the gentleman is interested in something else.
So sorry, my friend. I don't trust you that much as yet. If you take another step, I'll shoot.
Make it disappear, please, just so we can see the look on his face.
Just remember, you started this fight.
It's always somebody else's fault. Will is out looking for rocks again.
Hi. Don't be afraid. I'm a friend.
It's clear the boy doesn't understand, but he's giving it his best shot.
My name is Will. What's yours? Don't you understand me? Hey, wait a minute. I was only trying to be friends.
Didn't you hear that sound, Will? That's how his parents call him. It's got nothing to do with you. At the ship, Will reports that the boy was friendly, while Smith regales them with his tales of standing off hostile aliens at their own camp, blah, blah, blah. They aren't taking him seriously, which is good. Professor Robinson says, rightly, that there's a good chance they can live in peace with these folks.
Provided we don't spoil it by acting prematurely.
But spoiling things is all Smith is good at. The next day, the boys meet again, and Will's new friend brought something with him.
catch by yourself.
A dog is better, but since we could only have the dog for one episode, yourself will do.
Excuse me, you better take this back now. You want me to keep it? I appreciate your offer, but I really can't accept it. What's wrong?
That sneeze may have killed his new friend. Earth diseases will. Get him back to his camp.
There's a cave up ahead. Maybe if you rest a while, you'll feel better.
Why? Take him to his camp. Well, now things are a mess. Will is missing and Smith is just sure the aliens ate him or something. John and Don head out to look for him. Meanwhile, their boy is missing and they're just sure those aliens ate him or something. Dad goes out looking for him. He finds the ball, but nothing else.
Well past 7. And our little Will still hasn't returned, eh? One might almost suspect foul play.
Existing evidence does not bear out that supposition.
Evidence? What do I care about evidence? I need every tool at my disposal. Those aliens will have us in cages if we don't destroy them first.
Existing evidence does not...
No, shut up.
At least he admits he doesn't care about evidence and just makes stuff up. If he was willing to take responsibility for the consequences of his crazy rantings, that would be one thing. But as we know, it's never his fault. While the men are out looking for Will, he's spinning all kinds of tales about the horrible things that could be happening to the boy and manipulating Maureen and Judy with great effectiveness. So we have two sets of parents, both their sons are missing, each suspects the other of foul play, meanwhile the boys are together and trying to look after each other. We wouldn't have a fraction of this tension without Dr. Smith's bumbling. I think that goes without saying, so I won't say it.
This is ridiculous, absolutely
Quit
ridiculous.
stalling and get a move on.
I protest most strenuously. Professor Robinson, will you kindly explain why it was necessary to wake me up from a sound sleep at this hour?
Well, we're going to the alien campsite.
I heartily approve the action. But what has that to do with me?
You're going with us, Doctor.
Me? Did you say me?
It was your idea. You get to help carry it out.
Well, we'll need you to show us the way.
I could draw you a simple map.
No. Besides, 3 armed men are better than 2.
Armed?
Well, you keep telling us how dangerous they are, don't you?
You brought a gun for the good doctor?
That's right.
Please tell me it's not loaded. Dr. Smith with a loaded gun is a recipe for trouble.
I'm a scientist, not a fighting man.
Well, then you can come along for moral support.
But if there's trouble, I'll only be in the way.
Dr. Smith, you're going with us. Come along.
Meanwhile, back in the cave,
I'm gonna try and get you home.
which you should have done in the first place. Why you stayed in that cave all night, I do not know.
I'll go on alone and try to communicate with him. And remember, no shooting unless he starts.
Keep in mind that they're armed because you are.
Is he crazy? He's at their mercy.
That's the idea. He's proving he's not hostile.
I'm looking for a boy. A boy!
It doesn't seem to be going too well.
He bases that on what? Give them a moment, they'll sort it out. They haven't grasped yet that there are 2 boys.
He's gonna shoot.
I told you giving Smith a loaded gun was a recipe for trouble. While they sit there trying to figure out how to get out of this mess, the answer arrives.
No!
Where have you been?
I couldn't get back. The alien boy got sick and I had to stay with him.
None of this would have happened if it hadn't been for you.
I couldn't walk off and just leave him alone, sir.
That's all right.
Where's the boy now?
I left him back there.
That doesn't alter the fact that we're in danger of our lives.
The aliens don't want to fight. They want their boy.
The best thing you can do right now, well, okay, the best thing you can do is laser Smith's mouth shut, but a close second, have Will return the boy. Show them you each had a missing boy, and that was why the confusion.
They must have thought we had him.
Yes, and we thought they had Will.
How do we tell them we were both mistaken?
Have Will take the boy to them. When they see there were two boys and they were just playing together, it should defuse everything.
I'm gonna bring their boy back to them.
No, you can't. They'll think we had him all along.
They'll kill you.
Have Will do it. You already know they care about children, so they're not likely to do anything to him. But no, he goes and fetches the sick child. Some things are universal, like a mother's love. And a mother's revenge.
No, no!
Well, get out of here.
You're going to save your son by breaking his arm. It's clear they communicate telepathically, and my guess is the boy is explaining everything to his parents. You do remember that he's still sick and can barely stand, right? Everybody calms down, maybe not Dr. Smith, but he doesn't count, and the two families are reunited with their children. And they won't be back. They can't live on this planet.
When you sneezed, Will, you contaminated the air.
Then imagine how contaminated the air must have been with giant Dr. Smith sneezing all those times.
But the antibiotics cured my friend.
When did somebody give him antibiotics? You didn't have any, and all your dad did was carry him to his parents.
Sure, until he catches the common cold again.
You see, Will, the taurines have no resistance to our diseases. They had to go.
The which? This is one of the more famous bloopers in the episode because there's no way he could know what they called themselves. They never communicated beyond indecipherable hand gestures. So I'm going to say that's a name he made up for them so he wouldn't have to say those aliens in funny clothes. His friend is gone, but he did leave Will a souvenir.
Well, now what's supposed to happen?
The ball comes back to you.
It works. Now you tell me.
It's amazing how no matter where you are, when you throw the ball, it goes past that same rock outcropping when it changes course. How does it do that? And whatever became of the moon mouse? If they don't need it anymore, I want it for my set.
We have to put a new fuel pack in the chariot.
Your wish is my command, sir.
It's over there.
Aye, aye, sir.
And handle it carefully. That fuel could explode on contact with air.
Never fear. Smith is here.
That's exactly what everybody's afraid of. Another signature line appears. He did say it once before, but it went by so quickly in the middle of some other dialogue I couldn't really count it.
Put it in the back of the chariot. I'll hook it up later.
A man of my talents being used as a beast of burden.
You should not have done that.
Tom, do you smell something?
The fuel pack.
That would be why. Professor Robinson commented that it seems like children can get along. It's always the adults that try to hurt each other. And then he went right ahead and did it the adult way anyway, nearly with disastrous results. Two children who can't even connect in any kind of linguistic way saved his life. So the moral of the story is, next time don't give Dr. Smith a loaded gun. I'll see you the next time you find yourself lost in Irvingland.
That is, you must do something about it.
Okay, sweetie. Sorry about that.